What's up guys, Zeenigami here. The brand new Hody Jones Sugofest batch has come out on the Japanese version One Piece Treasure Cruise. How good are they? And what do they all do? They're all Powerhouse characters, which is very important to note because Hody Jones is a Powerhouse captain and they all want to work together on a Powerhouse team. Rob Lucci, eat your heart out, because if you get these characters, they'll go great on a Rob Lucci team. But if you don't have a Rob Lucci and you get a Hody Jones instead, he's also a great Powerhouse captain. We're going to go over everyone, and let's go over Hody Jones first, because of how important Powerhouse characters are to this batch. So, if Powerhouse characters did not get enough play before, all these characters are going to really push Powerhouse characters up there, and they're all these characters just really say use a Powerhouse team together. If you get them, in fact, if you get all of them together, you have a great Powerhouse team all together. So, Hody Jones's captain ability reduces the cooldown of Powerhouse characters by 1 turn at the start of a fight. He cuts your health by 10% at the end of each turn, which normally is not that great of a thing, but he boosts your attack of Powerhouse characters by 3 times and your health by 2 times if you have 6 Powerhouse characters on your team. So if you have all 6 of your characters as Powerhouse characters, you're going to get a 3 times attack boost and double your health. So you have 2 Hody Joneses, you get 4 times health. Which means you can have like 80,000 hit points at the start of a turn, and then you'll start losing a lot of health. Now, normally losing that much health is gonna be pretty bad, but Powerhouse characters, don't forget, have the Tom's Worker ship, which does give you like 700 healing in addition to your potential 1000 healing per heal per turn. And with Hody Jones, you don't lose your use of recovery orbs like Rob Lucci does. So Hody Jones, you can get plenty of heal per turn using Tom's Worker and the heal per turn orbs, heal per turn sockets. You can still use your recovery orbs, and you have 2 times attack health, or 2 times health, and then use that with like a wiper ship, and you have tons of potential health. And then you have also things like 6-star Marco, which does heal a lot of health and gives you boosting orbs too. And don't forget, 6-star Marco is a Powerhouse character, and we're only going to be looking at Powerhouse character basically for Hody Jones teams. It's like Barto, but with Powerhouse. So a lot of potential health, tons of potential health, lots of potential healing with the Tom's Workers Rocket Man ship and heal return sockets. And you can actually still use recovery orbs, unlike with a Rob Lucci team. His special ability is a 2-stage special. Stage 1 is already at 12 turns, and we expect maybe a 5-6 skill up, so he's probably going to go down to 7 turns or so at max level. He'll deal 60 times his attack and int damage to all enemies, reduce special cooldowns of your Powerhouse characters by 1 turn, and reduce damage received by 60%. So with 2 Hody Joneses on a 7-turn cooldown, you can expect 2 out of 7, or even if it's an 8-turn, that's a fourth of your turns with 60% damage reduction. Also, if you would use it at max level, it's a 90% damage reduction, which is just like Perona, who has the highest non-negate all damage reduction in the game. Whenever you have stuff like 80,000 hit points, or even over 100,000 hit points, 80% damage reduction means you can basically survive anything. Even like 1,000,000 damage at once. Bam! It's only 100,000 damage. Still, you can totally survive that, right? But yeah. Reduces damage by 90% for 1 turn. 1,000,000 damage is a little much, but you get the idea. You can still survive like 100,000 damage. Hody Jones, while not the most offensive special ability, that 90% damage reduction in addition to his 2 times attack health makes him a very, very good captain. Probably better than Rob Lucci as it is right now as a Powerhouse captain. But a good captain is nothing without good subs. Before we had stuff like Sanji, who's a great Powerhouse sub, Kuma, who's a great orb booster in general, both very good subs on the Hody Jones team, but all these characters right here are all Powerhouse characters and they all work great. So Hyouzou is a quick Powerhouse slasher. His captain ability boosts the attack of slashers by 2.5x and the hit points of Powerhouse by 1.5x. So if you want to use him as a slasher attack captain, he's already just as good as Mihawk. So you could use him instead of Mihawk, Raid Mihawk. You could use him with a int Mihawk captain if you wanted to, and just have the additional boost of if you have Powerhouse characters, you get extra health. So worse, his captain ability is the same level as Raid Mihawk, which is pretty nice. Raid Mihawk's got a great captain ability, so his captain ability already is very good, just with the additional bonus that if you're using Powerhouse Slashers, you get 50% extra health, which is not insignificant. His Sailor ability, remember, it's only active if he's not the captain, so you don't get this Sailor ability while he's captain, and Sailor abilities are not yet active on Global. Fingers crossed for that coming out soon. Is boost the attack of all characters by 150 if you have 6 Powerhouse characters. 150 attack is basically an extra 75 attack cotton candy on all your characters, which is pretty nice. Very, very nice. The difference between a character with 1400 attack and 1550 attack is huge. That's a lot of damage potentially there. His special ability makes perfects harder hit for 1 turn. Changes any of the primary color orbs into matching orbs for Powerhouse characters, and delays all enemies 1 turn and recovers 20% of your max HP. 20% of your max HP whenever you've got like 100,000 hit points is a lot of health. That's 20,000 healing potentially using the Hody Jones captain, which gives you a lot of health. So Hyouzou's healing, very nice. Delaying, very nice. Changes red, green, int, psi, or red, blue, green, yellow, pink orbs into matching. The only bad thing is it makes perfects hard to hit. If only there were someone who makes perfects easier to hit too at the same time. Let's go into the next one. Daruma. He is a Dex Powerhouse fighter. His captain ability reduces cooldowns of all specials by 4 turns at the start of fight and boosts the attack of Powerhouse characters by 1.5x. One of the weaker captain abilities, but can be very, very useful if you want to do speed runs of Fortnite Islands, where the 4-turn cooldown reduction means you can use specials right away. But one of the weaker captain abilities out of this batch, his Sailor ability completely resists silence on him. Doesn't make silence for other characters, get resistance only on himself. And his special ability reduces paralysis and silence duration by 2 turns, cuts hit points of 1 enemy by 10%, and boosts the attack of Powerhouse characters by 1.75x for 1 turn. So if you do not have green Powerhouse Sanji, you can always use Daruma as your green Powerhouse attack booster instead. And also get 10% health cut, and also get silence and paralysis reduction. And silence and paralysis reduction right now is still pretty rare, so it's pretty good special ability. Very good special ability. Definitely put it up there on your super Powerhouse team that all these characters worked well together with. Zeo is a int Powerhouse striker. His captain ability boosts the attack of int characters by 2.25x and reduces damage received by 20x, or 20 times. Not the best captain ability. Once again, he's basically a little bit weaker than Raid Boss Magellan, since Raid Boss Magellan's damage reflection is probably a little more useful than the damage reduction by 20%, but that 20% damage reduction can come in handy. Especially with 2 of them, you get a static about 30% damage reduction. His Sailor ability completely resists blindness if you have a Powerhouse captain. So, blindness can be very annoying. You can use him as a sub on your Powerhouse team against Fortnite Absalom, which means Fortnite Absalom becomes a joke. Still very, very, very good. His special ability makes perfects easier to hit. Hey, do you remember when I said I wish I had someone who made perfects easier to hit? So that perfect easier hit negates Daruma. Oh no, who is it? Ikaros. It negates. Oh shoot, which one? Hyouzou's. It negates this perfect hard to hit. So if you use the perfect hard to hit and Zeo's perfect easier to hit, basically cancels out. Locks all orbs and boosts your chain to 2.5x. So Hancock's 2.5x chain multiplier is very powerful. Same thing right here. 2.5x chain multiplication is very powerful. Perfect's easier to hit completely negates that perfect's hard to hit and locks all your orbs for 1 turn. And Dosun, the last character on this batch, Strength Powerhouse Striker. His captain ability boosts the attack of Powerhouse characters by 3.25x after hitting a chain of Good, Great, Perfect. Now this is not as strong as Raid Boss Sabo or Log Luffy. Raid Boss Sabo is 3.5x after Good, Great, Perfect, and Log Luffy is 4x after Good, Great, Perfect. And going by the numbers, just that number, 3.5 times attack boost after a Good, Great, Perfect, is okay. It's not that much damage. It's actually on the lower end of damage It's going to be lower than like a Gear 3 attack captain boost or anything like that. About as strong as a 2.5 times attack captain, which having hit good, great, perfect for that, not the most useful captain ability. I would use someone else as a captain instead. Definitely not useless, but not as powerful as other good, great, perfect captains. In addition to him not working with another powerhouse attack booster, he basically only will work with himself as a powerhouse attack booster. So if you're going to use him, Dosun only works with Dosun. He doesn't even work with Long Luffy because Long Luffy's not a powerhouse himself. Pass on that captain ability. His sailor ability boosts the attack of all characters by 150 and hit points of all character by 50 if you have 6 powerhouse characters on your crew. Once again, look at all these powerhouse characters working together. Oh, I skipped over Ikaros. Okay, we'll go back to him. His special ability changes Recovery Tandem, Empty Block, and Bomb Orbs, the same orbs that Kuma changes, into the primary colors. Also boosts the attack of Powerhouse by 1.5x and boosts Orb by 1.5x for 1 turn. Now this part you can actually probably skip over. Dosun doesn't work that well with the other guys because he gives you a weaker Powerhouse attack boost and a weaker Orb boost than, say, Daruma, who gives the 1.75 times attack, and Ikaros, who gives the 1.75 times orbs, which we'll go over them because I completely forgot to mention him. But you can use him to change your same orbs as Kuma into the primary color orbs. Now, I would actually probably just use Kuma instead of Dosun. Dosun is probably the weakest one out of this batch because Raid Boss Kuma does what he does a little bit better. And although he does give you the attack and orb boost together, if you're going for the big burst turn, it's better to use the other characters. What Dosun does do very well is that he is one character that gives you an orb shuffle, that also gives you an attack boost and gives you an orb boost. So he's a great Coliseum character where you have to fight multiple bosses at once, but he's not that good on a team for a raid boss where you're going to be doing like a big burst turn to kill in 1 turn. And then Ikaros, who I managed to completely skip over, Psy Powerhouse Striker, boosts the attack of Powerhouse and Striker characters by 1.6x. So if you have a Powerhouse Striker, it's a 2.56 attack boost. Mediocre captain ability, just because it's very restrictive in a Powerhouse Striker. That you have to bring Powerhouse Strikers. His Sailor ability makes himself get beneficial orbs if there are 6 Powerhouse characters on your team, as long as you don't have as long as you have one of the primary colors. So basically, during your regular attacks, 5 out of 7 turns, you're gonna have beneficial orbs, which is quite good. Very, 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 very good. And if you have orb rate up or orb matching sockets on your team, he's gonna have matching orbs almost every turn, basically. His special ability cuts your health by 50%, boosts your orbs for powerhouse characters by 1.75 times, and boosts attack against delayed enemies by 1.5 times. This is very good. So good. And don't forget that also, one of these guys who delays. Is it Daruma? Is it Hyouzou? Delay right there. So once again, all these characters in this batch just work so well together. Everyone in this batch they just like made everyone work well together in this batch. So you have delay here, you have healing, you have delay and health cut. So even though you lose or conditional attack boost and health cut, so even if you lose health, you're gonna heal it back up, and you're gonna delay, so you're gonna get the delayed boost online. You have the orb boost here and the tight boost, and even though it makes it harder to hit, it makes it easier to hit. Every single one of these characters just works really, really well together. You also have characters that will lock orbs whenever you have better chance of matching or basically makes things into matching orbs. The only thing is that instead of Dosun, I would just use Raid Boss Kuma, who is probably just better, except Dosun works well if you're using him on a Coliseum team, because he himself gives you powerhouse and amplifying orbs and changes into shuffling orbs. Now, one very important thing to note about Dosun is that since he shuffles into primary color orbs, he's not going to be affected by increased rate of matching orbs. So, for example, Rob Lucci, His special ability increases your rate of matching orbs for 3 turns. Using Dosun's special ability, while Rob Lucci's ability is active, will have no effect, because this is not going to be influenced by matching orb rates, that being a special ability, or by increased rate orb sockets. So this is just randomly into primary orbs. Not that useful. Kuma is probably the better option as long as you don't need the attack boost along with it. And here's an example of a team. This is with double Hody Jones captains. We're just going to be using Sanji here, but you can, instead of Sanji, use the... No, who's the Powerhouse type booster? It's so hard to remember who it is without artwork on the characters right now. Instead of Daruma, who gives you the 1.75 times attack boost, we're going to be using Sanji for the 2 times attack boost instead. We got Hody Jones' captain ability with 6 Powerhouse characters. Let's throw on the Rocket Man ship. So we have 900 heal per turn for Rocket Man ship, which is potentially 1,900 with a full heal per turn sockets. Which basically means we're going to be healing a ton of turns. So even though we're going to lose 7,000 hit points, we're going to gain 2,000 hit points every turn. So at 20,000 hit points, we'll be losing about as much health as we're gaining. Now that does seem like a little bit whenever you're looking at 75,000 hit points, or almost 80,000 hit points. But 20,000 hit points is still more than most teams will have. So even if you don't heal at all, if you have max heal per turn sockets and a Rocket Man ship, you'll be healing and losing the exact same amount of health at 20,000 hit points. So at 20,000 hit points, you are stable. And then you can also do stuff like heal up 20% to gain a ton of hit points. 20%, boom, boom, boom. That's 10,000 healing. You could use 6-star Marco to heal up basically back to full. So you'll float down here. If you're below your 20,000, you'll slowly heal with heal per turn. If you're above it, you'll slowly lose health. And 6-star Marco will push you up tons. Hyouzou gives you the delay for 1 turn, so that way you have the attack boost from the delayed here. You also have the orb boost. Sanji, it's such a team that works so well together. Very, very good characters. You get a lot of damage across the board. And it's very, very safe with how much health you could possibly have. Throw in 6-star Marco and you can heal up whenever you want to. Overall, I would say this batch is pretty good. Very, very good characters in this batch. If you can get them all, they work very well together. And if you've ever wanted to use a Powerhouse team, now's the time to get them. Hody Jones, definitely going to be one of the better Powerhouse captains. Guys, I've been Zeenigami. I'm now just rambling on about what these characters do. I'm not going to be doing Sugofest pulls myself because I already have a lot of characters on Japan, but I will be doing Sugofest pulls on Global, hopefully during the 2-year anniversary, if it's a gold-only Sugo. Whoops! One quick correction that I know we're not going to get to is that I forgot you have double Hody Jones captain, so you actually lose 20% health at the end of each turn. So your health will actually stabilize at 10,000 hit points, not 20,000 hit points. Quite a big difference stabilizing at 10,000 hit points versus 20,000 with 1,900 heal return. But still, definitely enough that you would be able to stabilize and still safely take a hit potentially. Especially since you have 90% damage reduction for 2 turns with double his captain abilities. Still a very good captain. Just that instead of stabilizing at 20,000 hit points, he'll stabilize at 10,000. Throw 6-star Marco on the team, you don't have to worry about health at all. I've been Zeenigami, thank you so much for watching. Y'all stay beautiful.